work, before I unveil the painting, I like to represent women, and I like to represent metamorphoses and changes and those moments in life in which you give up on something and then there is something that is born again within yourself. So this painting, it is inspired in a book that is called The Woman Who Ran with the Wolves. There is a mini story, and that mini story is The Skeleton Woman. If you would like to read about it, that would be awesome. But the idea is of kind of like how a woman just borns again after. There's like a lot of metaphors behind, but it's behind all the idea of rebirth. Yeah. Thank you.
My mural, actually the title comes from a poem from Rumi, and it talks about the moment. It's an uncomfortable moment. It's a transition in life in which you're in winter just waiting for spring to come. So there is like a whole backstory on that as well, and it is inspired on a book, The Woman Who Ran with the Wolves, on a tale that is called The Skeleton Woman. And there is a dream, and the skeleton becomes a human. So if anyone actually is interested, I can talk to you about later. The skull is the jewel of the painting. The idea is, the whole concept of the artwork is about rebirth. So the skull, it talks about death and life. There are flowers inside the skull, so there is a transparency happening there. The girl? Yeah. Well, it's like the whole thing of like rebuilding yourself as a woman. Yes, yeah, the whole concept of changing through life stages. Transitioning from one thing to another, changes in life. Just the same concept as rebirth. In order to give birth to something, something has to die as well. Same as like a flower has to die in order to have a fruit. This one, it talks more about the season of winter and something that is uncomfortable. So everyone wants to be in summer, in spring. They're like beautiful seasons, right? But don't like winter, it's cold. The trees are naked, like there is nothing, it's not that colorful. And it's that moment in which people just feel uncomfortable and you're just waiting for things to blossom, but you know that there is a seed inside. There is like a seed waiting to like bloom and sprout when the time is right. It can also be like an internal state. Like this one, for example, it's funny, like I feel many times, I don't know if it is because I'm from the North Hemisphere, so whenever it's summer here, it is winter there, and I feel like my body has the memory of that. So many times it's summer here, but I feel that inside myself it is winter, and it's so weird. It just feels very disaligned, but it can also be an state of, an inner state rather than what it happens outside. Yeah, well, that's just like the flowers, more obvious, and she has like a flower in each hand. Roses. Yeah, so it would be like coming out of the skull, something that it looks dead but it's actually bringing life. It's just that is not that obvious yet, and then that would be like the transition to the future, I would say. Finally, it's getting some color.